Often he would just kind of smash them as soon as they start opening their mouth. But he was criticizing Srila Prabhupada's translation of the Bhagavad Gita. And he was saying, Swamiji, in this chapter you translate it like this and translate it like that, and you say this is Krishna and that's Krishna and we should chant Hare Krishna and like this, but it doesn't say Krishna and it doesn't say chant Hare Krishna, but you translate it like that. And Prabhupada was like, oh, okay, anything else? And then he said, and in the next chapter it says here you translate Krishna and it doesn't say Krishna, and you explain Krishna and you should chant Hare Krishna. And Prabhupada said, oh, okay. Is there more? And he went on like this for about a half an hour, saying you should say Krishna here, you say Krishna and chant Hare Krishna and Krishna. And then eventually he Prabhupada said, okay, you got to went through all 18 chapters criticizing for, and all the devotees were like, why is Prabhupada letting this guy sit here? And then finally Prabhupada said, okay, now prasadam. He left. And they said, Prabhupada, why didn't you smash him? He was criticizing you. And he said, oh, he was chanting Hare Krishna for half an hour, sitting here, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna. He said if he, after doing that for half an hour, then his heart will start to become soft and malleable, and next time he comes, he'll begin to understand. So Prabhupada, the way that he's translated the Bhagavad Gita and even the Bhagavatam is not dry, it's not speculative, it's from a mood of devotion. It's translated by someone who knows Krishna, someone who has bhakti, someone who loves Krishna, someone who's devout, someone who is considering Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and has developed a loving relationship with Him. So therefore, Srila Prabhupada allows us access to Krishna, to understanding who is Krishna, on a very deep and personal level, because he has that relationship with him. And this, the example is often given, if you want to see the queen, then you have to go through someone who can give you access to the queen. Not just that if you go and stop any Joe on the street and say, I want to go and see the queen, they can do something for you. Or even someone who may have seen the queen once or something, they can give you access. But someone who is very close to the queen, or is a designated servant of the queen, then they can give you immediate access to the queen. So, like this mood of becoming the servant of the servant of the servant, this is actually our Gaudiya Vaishnava lineage. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has explained, Gopi Bharator Padakamayor Das 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 Anudas. Explaining that I'm not a Brahmin, I'm not a Kshatriya, I'm not a Vaishya or Shudra, nor am I a sannyasi, a Vanatasta, a Grihasta, or Brahmachari. I am simply Gopi Bharator Padakamayor Das 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 Anudas. And that I am the servant of the servant of the servant of the maid servants of Krishna. So that's who I am. And this is Krishna, who's come as the perfect servant, the perfect devotee. So he's come to teach us how we can gain access into the spiritual kingdom, how we can actually develop a relationship with Krishna. And God himself is saying that I am simply a servant. I am simply a servant of your servants. So in this age of Kali, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we can see that Krishna himself in all aspects, any time that he appears, Krishna is appearing Parichanaya Sadhunam. He's appearing to liberate the sadhus. He's appearing for his devotees. Although it says Parichanaya Sadhunam Vinashach Duskritam, he's coming to annihilate the miscreants, but he can easily send someone else to do that. But Krishna himself, he personally comes in all of his different incarnations. You can see that he comes in a mood of service. And who is he coming in a mood of service to? He's coming in a mood of service to his devotees. So Krishna is himself personally setting the example that he is a servant of the servants. So God himself is setting that example in any of the incarnations where he appears. It's always in order to serve, he doesn't just come to relish or come to enjoy or come to dominate or come to control and manipulate, but he's always coming with a mood of service. So this is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And someone was sharing last night one story that a senior devotee was telling him about how some devotees have heard of this, because I don't know it so well. It's Akbar and Birbal. Is that right? Akbar and Birbal. I think Prabhupada used.
Akbar and Birbal.
Yeah,
Akbar.
Akbar and Birbal. So, and Akbar is a king, right?
Yes.
And Birbal is
Servant.
his servant. And is Birbal like he's an advisor, but they're both from Muslim background? Or? Yeah. But so Akbar and Birbal, they were having some conversation, and Akbar was saying, I don't understand why, it's explained that this, your Lord, he has to come himself personally, to rescue or save his devotees. But he's so powerful that he can send anyone to come and rescue and save the devotees. If we can make some space for the devotees to come in. It's good if we don't sit right in front of it. He's saying, why he can, he sends his messengers or his representatives to destroy and to kill, to annihilate, so why does he need to come himself personally to save his beloved devotees? And Birbal didn't really argue much with him. He just kind of said, okay. But then he went about arranging a nice little scenario or situation. So Akbar, being a king, he had one of those balconies, where the king would come and give his darshan. So he was standing on this balcony overlooking his kingdom, or his castle grounds, his gardens. And Akbar's wife, with their newborn child, was walking in the gardens. And she tripped. And when she tripped, the child fell. And the child fell into one of the fountains and began to sink into the water. And Akbar, standing up on his kind of balcony pedestal, he saw all of this, and immediately he rushed down from the steps and zoomed out into the garden and ran to the fountain and grabbed the child out of the fountain and lifted it up and began to kind of shake and try to save the child. But then he saw that actually the child wasn't a child at all, it was a doll. And he looked at his wife, and then Birbal appeared on the scene, and he said, just see, Akbar, you had so many servants, so many soldiers, even your wife, so many maidservants are around here for her, and you didn't call out to anyone. You ran yourself personally to save this child. Why? Because of love. So this is the same reason why Krishna himself, he personally comes also to deliver his devotees, because of his love for us, which unfortunately isn't always reciprocated by us because of us being in a very forgetful mood. But this is the mood of the Supreme Lord, that he cares so much about us, that he himself is willing to come personally as a service to serve us, to deliver us. So this mood of becoming a servant of the servant is, and understanding why do we want to become a servant of the servant? Why should we become a servant of the servant of the servants of Krishna?